Hello guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at the tools in Pixellab, the tools used for designing in Pixellab. That is what we have here beneath and also what we have above. Okay, so before we continue, please do like, subscribe, and also leave a comment. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's go straight and launch our Pixellab. So that is it right there. We launch on it, and you can get it from Google Play Store. For Apple, it's quite different there, so you can get this on Google Play Store. Now this is our interface. So we begin by identifying this. So all these are backgrounds. Okay, they are all backgrounds you can use for your work. So that is according to your taste and preference. But the default one is what we have here. Good. So we move to this icon, the A icon. We move to the A icon here. So if you click on that, it brings us these options. We have edit. The edit is for writing your text. Then we have the delete. The delete tool is to take away or delete any other thing you don't want in your design. Then we have the copy. So you see the copy, I've copied the text that I already have. That is what the copy does. Then the to the front. So to the front and to the back, they takes your text or whatever object you're working with, just as the name implies, to the front and also what to the back. So when you click on them, whatever you are working on, if you click on to the back, it goes back, then front it comes forward again. Then we have position. Let's click on position. So that is position, the size. Now we have the up navigator, which goes up, then down, sideways, that is left and right. Okay, so that's what the position does. And we move to relative position. Relative position here, place your object or your text or whatever you're working with at the right position if it's in the middle. So let's get it back. So let's delete this one. That's good. Now relative position, and we click on the top, this one, and see what it gives us. Okay, so it positions it in the middle. Anywhere at all your text or design is, it makes sure it's in the middle. Then the one beneath, which is this one, also position it in the center of what your workspace. That is what it does. Then the rest to the right, left, up, and down. Good. So that is what the relative position do. Now let's come to text size. So we click on it. Now we have our text here. This increases the size of the text. So if you want the text to be very small, we have the plus to increase and the minus to what, reduce. So it increases the text size. Now let's look at the padding. Now what it does is, sometimes there are some fonts that when you bring them from the font library or from your fonts, the size, you will not see all the font. So we use the padding to what? Space it out to bring the whole font out. You see, so this font is a bit, it's not complete. So the padding will bring everything out. So you just stretch it to make sure you have your font in full. Then we have color, which gives color to what? Our font. Color to our font. And we have gradient. The gradient is what? A mixture of what? Colors, or a particular color, just mixing them up. Okay. Then texture. With texture here, if you click on it, it takes us to our gallery or a folder where we can import an image. We can import an image onto the text we have here. Okay, so we don't want to use any color. I want to give it an image. So let's take this for instance. Let me slow it or position it. So okay, and you see the text. Let's increase the size. Where is the size? You see the text has taken the color of what we just imported. Good. So that's what texture gives. That's what it gives us. Okay, so let's delete it and move back. We have opacity. The opacity looks at how deep. Okay, so it increases the shade and what reduces it. That's what the opacity also do. Now we have here rotate. Okay, and you see it turns it. Perhaps if you make a design, you want to tilt it more. So that's what they rotate. And you get your preferred shape, then just tick, then you are good to go. Okay. Now let's come to mask. Or mask. So we have the in mask and what the outer mask. So let's take, we've taken the in mask. So it has masked the inner of what? Text. It has taken that one out. And that is it. When you come to the outer, it also takes the outer part out. So that is what it does. That's what it does. Okay. Now let's come to font. Let's move back with this icon. And let me add that now. Wait. So, okay. So let's move to fonts. It has changed. Good. So that is fonts. These are the default fonts on the app. Then my font, the font that you will transfer into your folder to be using. So I'll make a tutorial on that, on how to get these fonts and put them here. Okay, so let's pick any. And we have recent, those you've recently. So let me pick Montserrat. Okay, so you see, good, nice one. And bold here, when you're using perhaps a font that is very light, you can bold in it. This is already bold, so you won't see. Then the I is what? Italics, to slant it. U and the line. Then this is, when you click on this, it cancels the whatever you've done, whatever you've added, it cancels them. So from bold, italics, underlined, and it canceled everything. Good. So that is what the bold. The B for style. Then we have curve. Curve here, you see, it curve our word. So you're making a logo, whatever, and you want to curve due to what the client wants or how you want the design to look. This is what you need. Curve. Good. Okay, then the next one we have background. This background just give a background to your text. Okay, it gives a background to your text. Let's go back and get our text. Okay, good. So background give a color, okay, a background to your text. So you pick the color. Good, then you are done. That is what the background do. Background. Okay, good. So now let's cancel it. Oh, let's take it out. Right. Okay, let's disable it. Good. Now we move on. So we are still on the A icon. That is when we've selected our text to work with. Now let's come to alignment. For alignment, we have the centered, the left, and the right alignment. So depending on what you've written, now let's add more information to this. So edit. Now text to be added in. Okay, text to be added in. Let's reduce the size a bit. Good. You can see the curve is still there, so let's go to the curve and good, and make it 0. Okay, now so yeah, let's come to our alignment. We want to align this to the left. We click on the left alignment, and you see on the left side we get that straight edge. If you want right alignment to the right side, what will be in line, then centered, you get it this way. So left, right, centered. That is what the alignment also gives you. Good. Let's come to spacing. So the more you increase, the more you space your text. The more you decrease, the more your text comes together. Spacing. Yeah. So that is what it also do. You're looking at them each one by one. And we have line spacing. Aside the spacing, line spacing. This is when you have text written in this form. So let's add more font, more writings. Okay, so let's just put anything there. Okay, let's check. Now you see we have them in lines, 3 lines. So let's move back. Line spacing, and when we decrease, oh sorry, this is spacing. Line spacing. It's bring the line closer and separate them. So this is what the line spacing gives you. Good. Okay, so let's go back to our default text. Okay, from line spacing we come to stroke. When you press the stroke, click on the stroke, it add a shape along all your text. So let's pick a color for it, and you see, okay, and with this we can increase the stroke. Okay, we can increase the stroke. That is it. So it has added a color around the text. Same applies to image, same applies to what shapes. Whichever you pick and you get a stroke, it gives it a stroke. Being it image, shape, whatever it applies it. Good. Okay, now let's come to shadow. Shadow, enable, and it gives a shadow, so we can see the shadow. This is blur. We can reduce the blurriness. You see, it's too deep, so we can just reduce the blurriness how we want it. Opacity is to what make it reduce how thick it is. Good. Then we have the X offset. X offset. So you see, it's moving to the left and right, how you want to position your shadow. And the Y up and down, how you want to position your shadow. Good. Then we have the inner shadow. Now let's disable the shadow. Now inner shadow also gives you the shadow within. You see, the shadow is within the text. That is the difference. Then embossment. You see, embossment add like a texture of some, it brings your text out. You can see what has happened. But with this, it's a bit technical, so I'll get a tutorial on that. But it brings your text out. Okay, that is embossment for you. It adds some texture. Okay, some feel to it. Okay, so we can see. Just playing with these ones, and you can see how it's changing. Yeah, good. You see, good. So this is what the embossment also gives us. Good. It adds some feel, some deepness, some shade, kind of artistic stuff to it. Now let's disable and move on. Okay, disable, check. Now we have perspective. The perspective, well, yeah, good. So you see, so it's how you want to see your writing, and yes, it's done. Okay, so it has putting it in that perspective. It has given you the perspective. Perhaps you want to see it moving like this. There are designs that have their text like this. Okay, good. So that is the perspective. Oh, sorry. Good. So let's disable perspective. Good, disabled. Then 3D rotate. Yeah, so it rotates it up and down. Yeah, just like a 3D image. Okay, that's what it does. Good. So let disable. Sorry. Take it to 0. Okay. And now the 3D text itself. And we see we bring it to oblique, and you see you have your text in a 3D shape. You have a text in a 3D shape. That is what the 3D does. Okay. So 3D. And 3D shadow. Okay, so we can see it beneath. We can see the shadow of the text beneath. That is it. Then the last but not the least is the text reflection. So you click on it and it brings the text, it reflects it, it gives a reflection to the text, and that is it. Good. So we'll end this part of the tutorial. We'll take the other one in the next part. So this is the part 1. So you watch out for the part 2, which will be on the pentagon size, the pentagon icon, the squares, the 2 square overlaid, and the magic icon. Then we move to the top. Okay, so thanks for watching, and do subscribe. Let me hear your comments, and let's keep going.